Recording has started. Okay, great. So guys, what we want to focus on tonight are very particular things, and let me get my earphones going so I can hear. Okay, great. Okay, so what we want to focus on tonight, guys, are some very particular things. The past weeks we've talked about risk management. We talked about trade management. And now we want to talk about our plan management. What is our plan? One thing about professional traders and institutions, they have an organized playbook by which they trade every day, every week, every month. They know when they trade, when they don't trade, how often they trade, what is their risk that they're going to take. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So I got a couple little graphics I want to share with you. Some things I'm going to share with you, and we'll drop for your benefit later on. Okay. The first thing is I want to do a little bit of a review as it pertains to our trade management. Okay. You should be able to see that. And we talked about trade management. First of all, right here, guys, we only trade a maximum of 1% of the account balance in any single trade, okay? We only trade 1% in any single trade. That way, we can lose. We don't want to lose, but if we do, it is minimal risk to our account, okay? In essence, I tell people you can lose 99 times, 99 more times, and still have a little bit left in your account. Now, of course, we don't want to have that bad a record, okay? We don't want to be in any more than 3% risk on our account at one time cumulatively, meaning you can take 3 trades at 1% risk apiece, or you can split that up among 6, okay? At 0.5%. But whatever your conglomerate is, you don't need any more than 3% exposure, okay? I'm conditioning you for how we want to ultimately trade to become funded traders, okay? The reason being that in a lot of these prop funded trading firms, they have a maximum daily loss of 5% of your account balance, okay? So if we always stay under the 3 at or beneath the 3% threshold, we ensure that even if we, God forbid, that we lose all 3, that we still qualify under the rules. Okay, so I just want you to make sure you govern yourselves accordingly like that. Okay, now I'm going to skip all this. We know this, but this is very important, guys. We want to take no trade less than 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio. That is the minimum. We talked about this the week prior, that if we go just for 1 to 1, we have to win. I'm sorry. We go 1 to 1, we have to win more than 50% of our trades in order to be profitable. Okay. Well, if we raise that ratio to 2 to 1, meaning I have a 10 pip stop loss and I'm going for 20 pips, or I have a 25 pip stop loss and I'm going for 50. Okay. If we have a minimum of 2 to 1 risk to reward ratio, we can lose 77% of our trades, guys, and still be break even at least. Okay. Now, I talked to many of you all, and you all have win percentages at 53%, 48%. You think that's bad. Told somebody just yesterday doing a one-on-one with them, Steph Curry is known as one of the best shooters that has ever lived that played basketball. He just got his second $200 million contract, okay? The first person to ever do it. He shoots about 44 to 46% from three-pointer. Okay, you would think as much as he gets paid, or as much as people think every time he shoots it is going to go in, and it seems like it. But the fact of the matter is, statistics prove that he misses almost 60% of the shots that he takes. Okay, so if he can have a 44, 46% accuracy rate and still get paid 200 million, we can do it as well, guys. But we need to set ourselves up for that. to have that success. Okay, so that is also in our pinned messages, so you can get that. I want you all to print that out just so you can see that, so you won't be so hard on yourself regarding losses. Okay, as long as you do the proper money management and risk management, you'll be fine. Okay. Second is the trade management. We talked about last week, passive management versus active management. When we are passively managing, and there's nothing is wrong with it, we set our stop loss, we set our take profit, we use the proper lot size using our calculator, and we just simply wait for the result. Okay. Versus active trade management, we set our stop loss, we set our take profit, we set our proper lot size according to that stop loss, but we dynamically manage the profit or the drawdown, scaling in and scaling out of trades, and banking our profit to mitigate our loss. Okay, which means that if I go in the profit well, we talked about last week, getting that initial impulse on that 415. Okay, and then banking about 80% of our profit and letting 20% run. Okay, or if it seems like we're going to hit our stop loss and it's going the other way, know that you got to lose her quick. Okay, it may hurt your feelings, it may hurt your ego, but y'all, this is about money. Money has no feelings. Okay, if you know a trade is going against you, cut it. I said last week, hope is not a strategy. Okay, so we don't want to be hoping the trade goes somewhere. And the quote here is, the goal is to risk 1%, but to never take a 1% hit. Okay, which lowers our ratio even more. Okay, we don't have to. If you know pretty soon if you have a good trade or not. Okay, if it's not, just be honest. Cut your losers quick. Okay, and we want to be wrong quick, but we want to be right long. Okay, which means that when we're right, we want to hold on. When we got a winner, we don't want to cut it short. I used to trade like that, guys. I used to trade upside down. I used to hold my losers, hoping they would turn around. And when I would get in profit, I would close it quickly because I was scared it was going to turn into a loser. Okay, anybody ever been there? Put a 5 in the chat. Where you would literally cut your losers, let them run long. And my winner, oh my God, it's going to turn back on me. And then as soon as you get out of it, you see it ran another 50, 75 pips. You see what I'm saying? So we don't want to be that. We want to change that dynamic. Okay. So tonight we want to focus on, how many pips do I need per day? Okay. Some people say various things, and this is a personal choice. Okay. And this is getting into how do we want to trade your plan. Okay. Do you need 10 pips a day? Do you need 20? Do you need 50? Let me tell you one thing I had to do, and maybe this resonates with you regarding my maturation process as it pertains to becoming a trader. I used to be enamored with people that had these 120 pip moves. I mean, you would see it on the screen like, man, I want to get that one day. As if they were such a smart trader, as if they were, such this trading god, right? So but I realized that, one person's 10 pips is not another person's 10 pips. It matters how much the lot size is that's on those pips. So a person that gets 15 pips could get just as much as a person that had 100 pip run. Okay, so it used to make me feel good to get an 85 pip run and get 100. I just wanted to see the pip counter say that. And a lot of times I would hold on to trades too long and they would reverse on me because I wanted to see a visual to see it. I wanted to screenshot it and share it with my friends. Man, I caught 100 pips. And y'all, really, that's vanity. That's ego stroking. That does not pay bills. That will not pay a car note. They could care less how many pips you got. What they want to know is, do you have the funds to take care of this transaction or this contract or whatever obligation that you may have? Okay. So I want us to get out of that immature, trying to stunt, trying to brag for people, trying to snapshot and seeing people, man, look how many pips I caught. That could be impressive to people, but at the end of the day, it's about getting the necessary amount of pips at the necessary lot size that you need to either sustain your life, to pay for vacation, to pay for your retirement, whatever it may be. Okay, everybody's on here for various and diversity of reasons, but we need to narrow down what's the necessary amount of pips that you need per day. Okay. And the reason I say per day is because we want to take our mind off of money. Okay. We know that we're trading currencies. We know that, at the end, the result is we're risking money to ultimately get money, but I don't want our focus to be money. I want our focus to be to catch pips. Okay. And when we learn to be efficient at catching pips, then adding the necessary lot size, it's not even a thing that we consider. In fact, on my screen, I don't have a monetary amount on my screen that I track. Okay. I simply have a pip count because I know pips are non-emotional. They're not biased. They are just unemotional data. Okay. I'm risking pips. I'm looking for pips. Okay. And so when we focus on that, it takes the emotion away. But when we see, especially some of these things get fancy, they show you a dollar amount and it turns green when it's positive, it turns red when it's negative. Those things are emotional triggers that keep us emotional, which causes us to make emotional decisions, which usually is either fear-based or it's greed-based. Okay. And so we don't want that. Okay. But what we want when we focus on how many pips we need today, it's like building building a house brick by brick. Okay. Nobody would trust a house that they plowed the yard, graded the land, and then in 2 days it was up. I don't care how pretty it is. I do not trust it, y'all. I trust a stick built, brick by brick built home. If I'm going to lay in it, if I'm going to trust it when a storm comes through, I need to know that it was built strongly, firmly, and it took time. Okay. I don't know. I talked to many people here. Many people have different professions. You may be retired. You may be getting Social Security, whatever it is. Rarely, it may be some extreme cases, guys, but rarely does your employer say, "Hey, you make $80,000 a year. First day of the year, here's your check for 80,000." Okay. If somebody gets paid like that, please put a 7 in the chat, because I was 7 for good luck, because that you have been blessed that they just write you a check up front. Most people, there is agreement that when you accept the contract for employment, they tell you what the rate of pay is, and they tell you the interval in which you get paid. Okay. If that's most of you all's experience, put a 4 in the chat for me. Okay. If that's most of y'all's experience, put a 4 in the chat for me. Okay. They pay you at an interval, whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, whether it's bi-weekly, whether it's quarterly. Okay. And we add those intervals up, and then we create our and that accumulation of all those requisite payments add up to our yearly salary. Okay. We understand that full well, right? But when it comes to Forex, we want to get paid now. I want to get to 80,000 now. I want to make the 6 figures on 5 trades. Okay. And that is the mentality, guys, we have to change. Okay. Because listen to this. If you simply make $200 a day, and I don't know what your goal is, and what we plan on doing over the next couple of weeks is meeting with everybody and developing your trading plan. But let's say you want to make $200 a day. Okay, great. That sounds good. $200 a day, 5 trading days a week. That's $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week times 4 weeks in a month. That's 4,000 a year. 4,000 a month. 4,000 a month times 12 months is $48,000 a year. Okay. I'm telling you guys, with the system that we have, with the techniques that we are learning, there is no reason that we can't make $200 a day. Okay. So let's up that. Oh man, I want to make 500 a day. right? 500 a day, it's 2,500 a week. 2,500 a week, it's 10,000 a month. 10,000 a month is 120,000 a year, guys. Okay. But we have to realize we have to build this thing brick by brick. If we don't go into our employer and ask them, hey, I just need you to pay me up front. I know I'm going to work good. I know I'm going to be a great employee. Just trust me on this one. Pay me 120K now. They're like, no, are you crazy? No, we're not doing that. You got to work. You have to walk it out and you have to work it out. Okay. Let's bring that same work ethic. Let's bring that same patience. Let's bring that same ideal to our trading career. Okay. That will help you in two arenas, guys. If you know that your personal marker is I need to make $250 a day. That's my goal. When you reach it, the pressure is off. Okay. If you miss it by a little bit, let's say you got 180, 175. Okay. Well, I know that I've got 4 more days in this week. I'll spread that that shortfall over this amount of time. If you don't make it this week, okay, then I know I'll spread that over these many days. And when you organize and you treat it methodically like that, you treat it like a business. You are, I see Tiffany Inc., Andre Inc., Raleigh Inc., Bree Inc., okay? Dwayne Inc., David Inc., okay? Michael Inc. We need to treat when we come to this market like a business. What do businesses do? They project what the overhead is, what the profit is, profit potential is, all types of things. They do those things so they can project out so that they can continue to have enough revenue to be in business. And so we have to approach it like this, guys. And so we're going to develop over the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk about, and I'm going to put a sample template out this week so that you can start filling in your personal trading plan. Okay. I know trading plan sounds boring. It sounds stiff. I mean, I just want to make pips. I'm telling you guys, this is your contract that you make with yourself. Okay. It's the contract that you make with yourself because nobody else is going to hold you accountable, but it is writing down when I tell people like this, you need to write down your contract, your expectations of yourself when you're sober, when you're calm, so that when the market starts acting crazy and you get emotional, you can anchor yourself in what you wrote when you were clear-minded. Okay, that's the purpose of a trading plan. It is your guiding document as to how you're going to conduct your business. Okay, and don't get it twisted, y'all. This is your business. Okay, so let's talk about some ideals of what in the building blocks of a trading plan. Okay, and we'll talk about this, and then we'll get into some fun stuff. Okay, the importance of a trading plan. Okay, what we want to determine is the what. This is what I mean by what. What am I trading? Am I trading stocks? Am I trading forex? Am I trading futures? Am I trading commodities? You know, and even within forex, okay? Am I trading indices or am I trading metals? Am I trading only US dollar pairs or am I trading GBP pairs? Am I trading exotics? I mean, you can trade a US dollar versus the Mexican peso, the Russian ruble. You can do all that stuff. I don't mess with it personally, but you can do all that, okay? So you have to determine what you want to trade, okay? So I advise you to choose one thing. Do not try to mix disciplines, okay? Because you don't want to get things mixed up. The way you trade stocks and options is different than how you trade forex. Okay, when you trade your 401k and your self-directed IRA is totally different. Okay, so right now during this period, I'm not saying don't develop other disciplines. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is concentrate on one at a time. Okay, um, how as it pertains to currency pairs, what do I want to trade? Okay, we'll talk about next week about ADR, ATR, how fast pairs move, how the correlation of some pairs. Some like the Swiss franc is correlated with gold. Okay, they are still on the gold standard. Okay, so when something is happening to gold, if you look at gold versus U.S. dollar, usually uh, U.S. versus Swiss franc is going the opposite way. They are have an opposite correlation. The Canadian dollar is tied to oil because oil is their main source of revenue there in Canada. Okay, so you need to know, become intimately aware of the pairs that you want to trade. Do you want to trade slower pairs like Euro GBP? It moves very slow. It only moves about maybe 40 to 50 pips a day, but it pays $13 a pip for one standard. Okay. Do you like fast pairs like Euro NZD? Euro NZD moves probably about 200 to about 300 pips a day, but it only pays about $6 and some per pip for a standard. Okay. Uh, Great British Pound, uh, Japanese Yen, GJ moves very fast. Okay. But it pays like about $9 a pip for a standard. Okay. Or do you want to trade gold? Gold can move thousands of pips a day. Okay. As a result, you don't need to put a whole lot of money, lot size into it because how fast it moves. Okay. So you need to know what are the things that I want to trade. Okay. Then the next thing we have to go to, we have to determine when am I going to trade them. Okay. Um, Quite naturally, you need to trade a currency pair where at least one of those countries that you're trading with is open for business. Okay. It doesn't make sense this time of night to trade USD Canadian dollar. The reason being, both countries are in the northern hemisphere. They're open at the same of North America, and their banks are closed. Okay, we don't move the market. Banks and institutions move the market, guys. And so we want to make sure that we are choosing pairs. If we're going to choose that pair, we got to look and study the pair to see when it's most advantageous for us to trade it. Okay. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. Both of those are open right now. New Zealand is open, Japan is open. That's the best time to trade that. That's when you can have the most movement because countries tend to trade their currencies the most. Um, the New York session is when the US pairs move the most. Okay. And so we want to make sure you have at least one pair that is open during that session. Okay. What time of day? Uh, do you want to trade London? Does that fit your schedule? I'm a person, ever since I've been young, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's just how I've always been. So waking up for London is not a problem for me. Okay. But I'm not a person that can stay up late into the Asian session because I go to sleep early. And so I know that my lifestyle and how I sleep and wake and my sleep patterns, that affects which pairs I can trade. Okay, it should. Okay, um, uh, time of year matters. We are in the summertime, guys. Volume is extremely low, so that's the reason you're seeing setups that look like they're ready to drop or ready to go, and they don't work out. Is because there's not enough volume, and I'll show you today how volume matters. If there's not enough volume in the market, it'll do this. It'll go down some and come back up, go down some and come back up. That's what we've been seeing over the last 2 weeks. Okay, and then like one day a week, it'll go really really big. Okay. Now the next thing is we want to ask why. Okay, why do I want to trade that particular thing? Why am I even trading? Okay. Is it for extra income? Is it just to pay for vacation? Do I want to do this as a full-time replacement of my income? Okay. This seems like very boring stuff, guys, but when you're having tough times and when you're feeling like, man, I had a tough day in the market this week, man, Revisit your whys, revisit your when, revisit your what. And I guarantee you, a lot of times when we're having a bad streak, it's because we have wandered away from either our what, our when, or our why. Okay, or our how. Okay, I guarantee you guys, you've wandered away from one of those things, and when we bring in those inconsistencies, we get inconsistent in our trading. Okay, so what is your why? Why are you doing it? Why are you choosing that pair? Why are you trading at that time? Okay. Why are you choosing to stay in the trade that long? Why are you going for that many pips? Okay. There are plenty of whys, and I want you to ask yourself these whys, and it will start to shape how you trade. Okay. The last thing is how. Okay. And by how I mean this: am I going to trade on my computer, or am I going to take trades from my phone? Some people are two different people when they trade from their computer versus when they trade from their phone. I personally, when I trade from my phone, I'm a little more risky because I don't have to. I was like, stuff on your phone just like it just slide, blah 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 blah, and I take more risk. And guess what? I don't protect because you have to go through extra steps to protect your trade a lot of times when you do it over the phone. So I noticed this pattern in myself. I don't put my stop losses in as frequently as I should when I'm doing it over my phone. Okay. So how you trade matters. Okay. This is another thing regarding how. Do not trade emotional. If you had a fight with your spouse, you had a bad day at work, the dog bit you, whatever it is, do not trade emotional. I'll say like this: do not use trading as your therapy. That is the quickest way. Oh my goodness. That is the quickest way for you to over leverage, for you to overestimate and underplan. Like, man, y'all get on my nerves. I'm gonna go ahead and get on these charts on me. Get on the charts, get in demo. If you just want to let some steam off, because what you will do, you will, this mouth will get you in a load of trouble when you're emotional. Like, I see a little setup. You know what? I'm gonna put 3 standard on this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and get this money. This gonna make me feel good. I'm gonna feel good, even though me and my wife, having a little spat right now. When she see this money I make, shit, that's the kind of stuff we do. We talk ourselves into, guys. So please do not trade emotion. Do not trade them. You want to trade sober, and that's what I got that checklist. Do that self check. Am I emotional? I don't want to revenge trade. I don't want to do. I've done all those things, and rarely does it turn out the way. And guess what? Then I lose money, and then I'm more emotional, and then I want to revenge trade to get back what I did, and then I lose more, and all of a sudden I'm just in a free fall. Okay. So how we trade matters, okay? Now, the other part of how is, what kind of trader are you? This is a little bit of what, this is a little bit of how. What kind of trader are you, and how are you going to trade? Am I a scalper? Okay? Nothing is wrong with it. I've done all 4 of them, okay? Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Okay, meaning that I'm getting in for the session. I start at the beginning of New York. I'm gonna ride at the end of the session. I'm taking my profit for the end of the day. Am I an intraday trader? Okay, meaning that I may take it 8 o'clock in New York. I'm going to hold it until New York again the next cycle. Okay, I'm going to go into the next trading day. Or am I a swing trader? Okay, swing trader means I'm going to hold it from a couple of hours to a couple of days to a couple of months. Okay, I know people to do that and are very successful. You have to be wired a certain way for each of these types of trading. Okay, and so we need to determine what kind of trader we are, what are the vehicles we're going to choose to trade in, what times, when, why, what is our why? Why are we choosing that? Did we settle on a set of things that we're going to trade, and then because we heard a hot tip over here and now we're easily pulled over to an area to trade some stuff that we're not familiar with. Okay, let's make sure that we do that. And then lastly, guys, our how. How are we going to trade? Are we going to scalp? Are we going to day trade? Are we going to intraday trade? Are we going to swing trade? Okay. You know, how are we going to close? Are we going to close at the end of the weeks? I know some people that no matter what they in, they close Friday. They don't want trades holding over. Okay. Um, you know, some people they go for their target and they stop. Okay. Some people say, hey, I only take 2 trades a day, win, lose, or draw. I come back tomorrow and I do the same thing over again. Okay. You need to determine what is your loss threshold. Because if I lose 2 trades in a row, I'm taking an hour break at least, and I'm coming back to the markets. I know people that's their rule. Okay. If I lose 3 trades, then I'm done for the day and I don't come back until the next day. Some people trade only Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Those are traditionally the days where markets move the most. They don't trade Mondays, they don't trade Fridays. Okay. Some people trade only Mondays and Fridays. Some people trade only when news events come out. Okay. I can't we're not going to tell you what to do, but we do want you to make a decision on it. And here's the thing, this is not etched in stone. You may find out I personally started out as a swing trader. I did not like it. I don't have the emotional fortitude to wait that long. Okay. Then I went to the other end of the spectrum and I went to scalping. It was too fast for me at the time. And I was losing just as much money over here as I was over there. My sweet spot became uh, doing day trading and intraday trading. Okay. What time frames do you want to trade? Of course, we know we do the 415, but you may want to do, hey, I was talking one of our family on here, and they want to trade indices, but they found out that indices, this 415 multiple time frame strategy, it works better on indices trading from the 5 minute. You get a quicker entry, it moves so fast, and they can get their pips and they're gone. Okay, so that's the ideal that we want to to really focus in on our what, our when, our why, and our how. Okay, and that's pretty much how we're going to formulate that trading plan, guys. Okay, so that's all I have regarding that. That's our theoretical talk for tonight. What I wanted to show you guys, I want to show you guys some things in the charts. Oh, somebody has some stuff going on. Hold on one second. For some reason I couldn't hear you guys. Anyway, so what I want to do is show you guys. Y'all saw the thing that I sent you all last week. The spreadsheet to where you can go every night and go through your pairs. Okay. So what I want to do is go through so you all can see how I look at and how I parse out these pairs. Okay. So let me pull up mine and I'll show y'all exactly my methodology of what I go through. Okay. Hold 1 second. Okay, great. All right. So what I do, y'all, I about 5:30, I was running around today, so I couldn't do it at 5:30. About 5:30, 6 o'clock, I simply get into the charts. I go to the 15-minute. I zoom out good. All right, to where I can see everything, and I start right here on the end. Okay. So here's what I do. I look for orange arrows at least, at minimum. I look for orange arrows. And possibly orange and white, but at the very least, I look for orange arrows. That is what I call a potential 415 setup, okay? And so I simply write them down. So if somebody could, let's tally these down so we can see our potentials, okay? USD Swiss is a potential because I see an orange arrow. An orange arrow represents that it has a rejected 4-hour structure, okay? So that's USD Swiss. We can write that down. I think GBP USD has already left the building. I'm actually in that trade, okay? I'm actually in that trade. So, but we wouldn't count that because that was already in process, okay? I think Euro USD is the same. It's already in process. That's a good one if somebody catches it, okay? Y'all see that? Y'all see how everything lines up? It's ready to go. All right, USD JPY. Y'all agree? We see potential here for reversal. All right. USD CAD. Do we see potential here? All right, that goes on the watch list. This is AUD USD. Okay, this has potential. I personally think it's going to keep going down, but it has potential. We'll put it on the watch list. Okay, this doesn't mean get in anything, guys. If you have the Simplicity scanner, what I would do at this juncture, I would put all of those into the scanner, so then the scanner can then tell me, you know, when we get a signal. Okay. Euro GBP, it has potential, but there is confusion going on. Okay, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. It went down and came back up. I don't know what's going on. Stay away from it. Okay. There's too many other pairs that you can find that will tell a more clear story. Okay. Now this is a good one, guys. Can somebody tell me why this is a good one? Somebody put in the chat. Somebody put in the chat why this is a good one. Who's gonna be the first? Hey, come on, give me a brave soul here. Okay, let's see. Tiffany said 4 and 1 hour confirmations. Bree says 4 hour on the daily lines up. 15 in the daily are the same. Daily and the 4 hour pivot has a 4 hour and daily pivot. Yep, everybody's right in their own. Everybody described it a different way, but yes. Okay. The reason I'm excited about this. The reason I'm excited about this is because we got confirmation here that the daily and the 4 hour are working together. Okay. Let me show y'all the power of when the daily and the 4 hour work together. I was in this trade. This trade blessed me today, but I was still upset. Y'all saw it in the chat. Okay. And you may say, good night, that thing retraced the whole way. That's amazing. I caught all the way down to here. I got nervous and got out. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, because I had made so much money. And if I had wrote it all the way down here, and I don't talk money, y'all, I would have made $3,000 a day on this trade. Ended up making like 972. If I had held on and trusted what I knew, I'd have made $3,000. I knew it was going down to the bottom of this thing. It went right to the bottom of this box, y'all. Y'all see it? And went up. Okay. But the reason I knew it was going to be so powerful was we don't see, and here's one thing I want y'all to be mindful of. You may not, all you see is an orange right here, but sometimes the daily is running so long. I'm gonna scroll back here. The daily came in. Let me see what date this came in. came back August the 5th, okay? So this daily pressure is still in effect, even if you don't see a new one, okay? If you don't see one down here, that's the reason I had you all to put these white lines so that you can see how, if you still see a white line over the arrow, that means that the daily is still in effect, okay? Does that make sense, guys? So me seeing this orange 4-hour, I looked above that and I saw a white line and I knew, oh boy, the 4-hour, the daily is still in effect. And you can tell, look at this, guys. Look how these movements are longer than the pullbacks. You see that? It's because the daily is pushing with it, okay? So that's just an example. Whenever we see, and I think that, so that's Euro JPY, okay? Y'all write that one down. That is going to be a barn burner. It is going to go, and it's going to go very well, okay? Now, this right here was also a 4-hour and a daily because the daily just switched over, okay? And the reason we wait till about 6 o'clock, between 5:30 and 6 o'clock, a lot of times these daily arrows have to reset, and it takes the start of a new trading day before these move. It's likely that this was this white arrow just came in when the market started, okay? So this is going to be a one I'd put a star beside, because we got the daily. When you have the daily and the 4-hour together, it's a higher probability, okay? It's higher probability it's going to go faster and stronger with less effort, okay? And that's what we want, all right? So let's ease on down the road. Let's go to the next one. We got GBP Swiss. We see a potential here, okay? Nothing special. Canadian JPY, okay? Same thing. All right. We see it. We see another one, y'all. Okay. When I see both these boys together, I'm thinking payday. I'm thinking strong movement. I'm thinking a lot of force. Okay. So that's GJ. All right. It may take a while for it to move, but when it moves, it will reward you guys. Okay. We have another one here. Okay. Now this is a good case study. All right. Let's look at this. This has already come in. We know it's going to be strong, but look at what's happening. If you had gotten in right here with everything lined up, let's pretend this doesn't exist, okay? If we had gotten in right here, you would be in this drawdown right now, okay? This is the reason we wait for everything to line up when everything crosses. When all these things line up, this is what you get, guys. Short entry, stop loss above this level. We're talking about a 12 pip stop, guys, and this thing ran 45 pips. That's almost a 4-to-1 trade. Okay. Whoever took this, and I guarantee you somebody in our Simplicity family that's not in our group took this, and they are in drawdown right now. Now, nothing is wrong with it. Will it likely still hold? And if they put their stop underneath the box, yes, they probably are going to be fine in this trade if they're able to emotionally handle it. But why be in this drawdown if you don't have to? Like I always say, you're either going to wait and draw down, or you're going to wait for the right setup. I believe in waiting for the right setup, okay? So let's go on to the next one. AUD CAD, and it's moving down quick too, my goodness. AUD CAD. Now, this one has been looking like it is wanted to go for a while. Normally, I would say don't mess with this one, but I am intrigued because it is forming something. Can somebody tell me what it's forming? Somebody type in there what is the price action forming? Bree. You're right. You're right, Sabrina. It's forming an M. If anybody's familiar with the market makers method, okay. Okay. When market makers, they get in on this last leg and they ride it down. So simplicity did not reset this. Okay. Now, are we going to get on in it right now? No, that's too risky. I know some people that will get in and just ride it. Okay. We want to let the market tell us that it's ready to move. Okay. And right now, according to everything, it's not ready to move yet. Okay. It's getting close, but it's not ready to move yet. Okay. And usually when the M forms, it drops. I mean, tanks. Okay. So very good, guys. AUD Swiss. Okay. That looks like a potential. For the sake of time, I'm gonna go a little faster here. Whoo, look at this one, y'all. This is a beauty. I didn't mean to go 5 minutes. Hold on a second. When this is over and that turns around, that's going to be beautiful, guys. AUD JPY. Y'all put a star by that, okay? We're not jumping in early, but we do recognize what's going on. And I'm telling you, sometimes they're even stronger when they come in together at the same time. That means they're really already lockstep together, okay? So we already got an arrow coming in. You know, it's not in agreement yet. We're gonna wait until this crosses. And guys, somebody keep your eye on that one, okay? Let's keep our eye on that one. Swiss JPY. Y'all remember old song Prince used to sing, Controversy? That is controversy right there. We don't want no parts of it. We don't want any parts of this. When y'all make up your mind, call me. We not messing with that, okay? That will take your money quicker than you can ever imagine. All right? All right. Euro NZD. This looks good, guys. Now, here's another one. I'm glad this one came up because we have to realize we can't just look at our main arrow and what's above it. We got to look at the whole environment. What do we see right here, guys? Somebody tell me something that we see right here that we need to make note of. Put in the chat. Okay. AUD news in about 31 minutes. Consolidation, yes, but it's something else on the screen. That's right, Sabrina. It is consolidation. I agree with you. There's something else that's very important that we need to realize. Andre, yes, sir. It's missing the daily pivot. That's one way to say it. But more so than that, look at this. As this trade is moving, I want y'all to notice something. As this trade is moving, we got the 4-hour with us, okay? But we're going against the daily. Okay? If the daily was going to reset, it would have already reset by now when the market started. So in this scenario, we are going with the 4, but we're going against the daily. Okay, this is a scenario that doesn't come up all the time, but when it does, you need to pay attention to it. Okay, here's why it's important. You know, the 15 and the 4, they can do some stuff. They can accomplish some things, right? But let me tell you something. Whenever the daily wants to move, it doesn't ask for permission. It just says, no, we're going down. Okay. So I'm not saying you can't make pips with this, but you need to proceed with caution whenever you're trading against the daily. Okay. Everybody gets excited when the daily is with us, but we need to proceed with caution when the daily is against us. Now, it could be in your rules, okay? It could be in your trading plan. When I do not trade against the daily, and you're perfectly fine. I know people that don't trade against the daily. They respect it too much, okay? Now, can you make pips? Yes, you will make pips, but that's Sabrina. That's great. That you highlighted that. The reason that we're probably having a lot of consolidation is that price wants to go down, but the daily keeps pushing it back up. It's like a force field, okay? As opposed to this one had the daily with it, okay? And look how smooth it went. It's choppy a lot of times when it's going against the daily. So if you're not comfortable with it, y'all, there are 26 pairs, about 5 indices, and you can trade metals or oil. You don't have to trade this. But if you see it's a nice setup and you like your NZD and that's your pair, here's my suggestion. I want y'all to write this down. I want you to reduce your exposure. Okay? Reduce your exposure. Yes, correct. Could correct that consolidation. Yes. But I want you to reduce your exposure, okay? I'm not saying don't trade it. What I am saying to do is trade more conservative. Reduce your exposure. We already know, we already trade conservative in our group anyway. We only risk 1%. But I want you to reduce that risk down to 0.5% or 0.75% or 0.25%, okay? Don't trade at your full amount, okay? Because this is more risky. I'm not gonna lie. Does it still work? Yes, it can work. Now the other part is I want you to reduce your exposure and I want you to go for less pips. Don't wait for stuff to, because when I say the daily can turn on a dime, it can turn on a dime. So you don't want to be in that, y'all. Okay. So my suggestion is if you're going to trade against the daily, reduce your exposure by reducing lot size and only go for a set amount of pips. You say, you know what? I'm going to only go for 20 pips and I'm out. 20 pips and dip. Okay. Everybody get that. I'll put that in writing somewhere just so it's memorialized. Okay. But I'm glad we found this. This likely will be a pretty decent trade, but it's going to be a rocky road. Okay. So make sure you do that. I'm glad we ran across that. Is this helping y'all? Clear the drawings. Okay, great, great, great. Let me do this. Okay. EuroCAD. Okay. EuroCAD. It looks like there's some potential there. Okay. It's nowhere near ready, but there is potential there. CAD Swiss. Oh, that's a beautiful drop. Y'all see the power of that daily in the 4? When they come in together like twins, look at it, y'all. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So we got 4 hour going along. It looks like this 4 hours going against the daily. So you just don't be scared of it. Just respect it. Okay. Just respect it. NZD JPY. We're going against the daily. Okay. I want you to train your eyes where you can just recognize it really quick. We're going against the daily. We've got a couple things in already, right? We got a couple things in. Green, green, green. This is not broken above, okay? And it has not engaged with 50 smooth moving average, okay? So this may produce itself tonight. Like I said, New Zealand is open, Japan is open. So this may actually jump off tonight, y'all, around 9 o'clock or so, 9:30. When things get to hopping good, it may pop off. So keep your eye on this tonight. But just know, reduce your exposure, go for less pips, okay? Just get your money and run. What's this right? What's Prince song, y'all? Dun, 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 controversy. We don't fool with this. Leave it alone. This stuff take your lunch money. Don't mess with it. NZD Swiss. Beautiful. It's a beautiful setup. Now the drop was beautiful because of what, y'all? The daily and the 4. You can take this, just take it with caution, okay? Looks like the NZD is gonna have some nice setups. New Zealand dollar, okay? We got a 4-hour turning around. Let's see what we can find where the daily's at. Try to zoom out. Sometimes to find it, you gotta see, sometimes you gotta scrunch it down. Okay. So the daily is still with this move, okay? Because the line is up above us. Y'all see what I did? All right. So sometimes you gotta squeeze it down or go to a higher time frame you can see more. Okay. GBP NZD. This is what, y'all? Controversy. Leave it alone. All right. Beautiful move. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that. I missed that today. That's a beautiful move. Why was it beautiful? Daily, 4-hour. Boom. Pop never came back. All right. So we see some potential, but it's going against the 4. So govern yourself accordingly. All right. This is, I put it like this. It's not bad. It's got the daily with it. I just be careful. It's just looking very unstable. Okay. If it breaks this level, there's a clean drop. I would take it to here. All right. Now, for those that are interested, let's look at gold. Please don't trade gold if you don't know what you're doing. We'll do some sessions specifically on this, okay? On the special stuff. All right. You see a reversal coming. Nowhere near ready, okay? We don't try to catch the tops and bottoms. That's too risky in my opinion. S&P 500 went very well today. It's making a little M here. We got the 4-hour and the daily. They're stacked up on top of each other. Can't get any closer than that. So we'll wait to see how that plays out. US 30. You feeling brave with the US 30? Same thing that. Now y'all will notice the S&P 500 and the US 30 usually look just alike. Y'all see how they look alike? But the US 30 has moves very fast. S&P doesn't move as fast, okay? There's 100. We already seen that. And you see that sometimes they will all look exactly the same, the way they move. That makes you think like, man, this is a conspiracy. They doing some stuff. How does it all 3 look just the same? Okay. Euro CHF. We got turning potential. It's going against, will be going against the daily. Just be aware. Okay. For those of you that are really brave, we've got Bitcoin versus US dollar. Okay. It's already kind of on the move. It's going to be falling a little bit. It's got the daily 4-hour against it. Okay. Last but not least, we got oil. And this is a little bit everywhere. I don't take arrows in the middle because it's unpredictable. Okay. So guys, it usually doesn't take that long. You can just click through, and after a while, your eyes will get trained and you'll know which ones are ready. You'll know which ones are your potentials. And all we do is, guys, now we wait. Okay. I think the only one that was remotely ready, somebody, what, NZDJPY could happen tonight. All right. So one last thing I want to show you guys, and then I'll open the floor for questions. Some people have been asking me about how to do pending orders. I'm going to do a pending order right here because I anticipate this may happen. Okay. So, I anticipate that it's probably going to go start breaking out like right here. So this is going to be my stop loss of like 17 pips. This will be my target right here, about 43 pips, okay? So what I want to do, I want to right click, I'm gonna go to trading. I'm just gonna do set up for a I'm gonna do a buy stop, okay? Let me explain the difference between a buy stop and a buy limit, okay? A buy stop is like a bus stop. The bus goes on its route all the time. It's going to uptown, coming back to the suburbs. To uptown, that's all it does. When you get in a buy stop or a sell stop, you're trying to catch price where it's already headed. So it's like a bus stop. I want price to stop by this bus stop and pick me up and keep going up, okay? Everybody understand that? Buy stop or sell stop. So in this scenario here, let me take the scrolling off. In this scenario here, when it went down, let's say I had to go to work, I had an important meeting, and I knew that this was an important level right here, okay? This level was an important level. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a sell stop right here, because this is an important level, and when it breaks this level, it should continue going down. So I want it to pick me up on its way down and to keep taking me to my destination. That's a sell stop, okay? Versus a buy stop, okay? So we're gonna stick with this scenario for this buy stop, okay? Now, we already looked and saw that we want to place this stop about 22 pips back. That you see right here, it says 220, 223. Take that last number off. That means 22.3 pips, okay? And and those numbers beside it, that is the price, 76.664. Y'all remember that, okay? We're gonna double click this, and now we can put in our stop loss. So we're gonna put in 76.664 as our stop loss, okay? And then we hit modify. And all of a sudden, now we got our stop loss, okay? But we can't stop there because we want to do our take profit, okay? So this is our entry, 22 pip stop. We want to go for up here, right beneath here, 36.4 pips, and the price is 77.271. Remember that, 77.271. So I'm going to put this in 77.271. I'm going to hit modify again. And now, y'all see that line right there? I've got my take profit. Okay? So this is a fully, what they call a bracketed order. And if you put your cursor over, it'll tell you how much money you make. It'll tell you how much money you, right here, what you'll lose, 207. I'll make 315 if it hits my stop loss, okay? My take profit. Here's my entry. Now, you may say, hey, Tony, that's great. I'm gonna do this while I'm at the meeting, but what if it goes into profit and I can't lock and I can't protect my profit? Well, that's what you can do is once you establish this, then you can double click on this. No, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. You can double click on, you can right click, I'm sorry, right click on your stop loss, and you have a couple of options. You can cancel your stop loss, you can modify it, meaning move it somewhere else, you can delete it, or you can choose trailing stop, okay? So let's choose trailing stop, and we're gonna go to custom, okay? What I normally do, and this is what I do when I take trades when I'm going to sleep at night. I'm likely gonna set this trade up to be a pending trade. It's gonna be a buy stop that I'm banking on it picking me up in the middle of the night when I'm asleep, and I should wake up in profit, like in London, and it should be in some profit, okay? That's what I'm projecting it will do, okay? But while it's moving, I want it to, I want a trailing stop to trail. I want the stop loss to protect my capital first. Then when it moves in profit, I want it to protect my profit. So what I'm going to tell her to do is to do a 12 pip trailing stop, meaning when price gets to 13 pips, it's going to move, it's going to bring my stop loss up to break even. Okay. And then from there on out, the more it moves up, the more it will move my stop loss up, and it will be locking in profit the whole time it's going up. Okay. Now, one thing about MT4, we see things in pips, but MT4 measures things in points. Okay. 100 points equals 10 pips. Okay. So what we want to do, we want to put, instead of, I wanted to trail 100, I wanted to trail 12 pips. And so I have to put in 120 points. Okay. It's just an additional 0. So, okay. So now I've given, and I'm going to hit Control T, and it'll bring up my terminal. Okay. Bringing up my terminal, I can see my pending order. I've got a buy stop in on NZDJPY at this price with my stop loss being 76.664, my take profit being 77.267. This is the current price. And I know when it starts moving and gets into profit, it'll turn yellow because there's a trailing stop on it. Okay. That's how we do a full bracketed order. Okay. With a trailing stop. Okay. That way we can participate in the market even when we're at work. Okay. But what we have to do is we have to do our homework the night before. We have to look to see what's possible and say, you know what, I kind of think that once it breaks this level, it's going to keep going. Okay. We're only making educated guesses here. So I'm going to put a buy stop here that it'll pick me up. Once it moves into profit 13 pips, it's going to bring my stop loss up, and it's going to trail it all the way, hopefully up to here. You don't want your trailing stop to be too close, because if it's too close, it'll stop you out. Granted, it'll stop you out in profit, but it won't be much profit. Okay. And that's it for the technicals tonight, guys. Any questions anybody has? If you would, raise your hand. In your terminal. If you have any questions.
Hey, I'm sorry. I came in on the end of it. Are you going to record this? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Couldn't raise my hand. I'm on the phone. Are you going to record this? I'm sorry. I came in on the tail end of it.
Hold on. I can't hear you. It's probably on my end. Go ahead, Maurice.
Okay, I was just making sure that you're going to record this and send this out. I came in on the like on the tail end of it.
For some reason I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So, hey, if you can record it, just send it out. Thanks.
It's on me, y'all. I don't know what's wrong. Hold on. Say something, Maurice.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
I got you, man. Go ahead. I can hear you. I can hear you louder.
Okay. No, it was real quick. I was saying if you I recording this and sending it out. I came in on the tail end of the class.
Yes, sir. I'm recording and I'll post it tonight.
All right, thank you, sir.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, man. Anybody else have any questions? Well, cool deal. I hope this was of some benefit, guys. A couple things. I'm going to be posting. If we want to schedule a one-on-one, I'm going to be posting that. I'm going to be posting the material from tonight, and we're going to be posting later this week. I'll be posting a sample of the trading plan, so you can start filling out that template. Okay. Y'all have a blessed night. Y'all, we got some good setups tomorrow. You're welcome. You're welcome, Brendan. We've got, got a question.
Tony, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, all right. So I see when you were going through the charts, and let me I see when you were going through the charts, some of the daily kind of came in after the 4 hour. So how do you deal with that? Because technically you would have been with a reduced size before the daily actually come in. So do you actually go back and increase your lot size then if you see that the daily come in and and the setup is actually a lot better?
I'm going to leave that to your discretion. See, a lot of times it comes in on a 4 hour, but by the time that the simplicity arrow comes in, the daily may have already manifested. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
So it's, so what I advise people to do is to go ahead. There are conditions at 5:30 that may be different by the time London opens and these arrows come in. Okay. So always reinspect your setups and don't just take them just carte blanche. Okay. So just I would say go through your steps. I've got a simplicity arrow now. Did it just reject 4 hour structure? Is there anything else that it rejected? Is there another time frame that it may be going again? And then have a game plan for either way.
Gotcha. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, sir. Anyone else? Awesome. Well, y'all, hope y'all has benefited from class tonight. Hope something was said that helped to expand your thinking and how you execute. Y'all have a blessed night. And if y'all need anything, y'all please let me know, okay? And please sign up for those one-on-ones, all right? Thank y'all so much. Y'all take care.